We've charged one man and issued warrants for the arrest of another in connection with an assault at a local detention center. At approximately 6:20 p.m. on August 20th, 2012, emergency crews responded to the Calgary Remand Centre for reports of an inmate in medical distress. The victim, a 24-year-old man, sustained life-threatening injuries as a result of an assault and was taken to hospital in critical condition. Although well enough to leave hospital several months later, the victim suffered permanent injuries as a result of the assault. On Tuesday, investigators arrested a former cellmate of the victim. Justin Brett Decoux, 21 years of Calgary, is charged with aggravated assault. Warrants for aggravated assault have also been issued for Kei Hu Mang, 21 years of age, also of Calgary. Mang, who was also a cellmate of the victim, has been released from custody since this incident. His whereabouts are unknown at this time. Mang is described as an Asian male, 5 foot 8 inches tall and 138 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information about Mang's whereabouts are asked to call the police or Crime Stoppers. I'll take your questions.
Why the delay in laying these charges?
From the time of the incident, more goes into the investigation than the actual incident itself. And like any investigation, sometimes it's just not that simple. And as we wait for medical records and at times results back from the lab, the crime lab, that leads to time delays.
What have you been able to find out about the motive of the attack?
Our victim was not in custody for a long period of time at the Remand Centre, and we are, even though we've laid charges, where the investigation is not done, and we are still working on exactly why this happened.
So at the time when the other guy that the warrant is out for, Mang, was released, was he a suspect?
Yes, he was.
Granted to the public to consider this individual armed or dangerous and/or?
At times, we have come out with, I would say, statements supporting those kind of issues. We're not doing that with Mr. Mang. Yes, he's known to the police, and yes, we have concerns that he is out and not in custody. But no, we're not saying at this time that he would be a high risk.
I'm asking this question cognizant of the decision of the court to let Mang out of custody, but can you give us, I guess, an idea or a better understanding of what he was doing in the Remand Centre in the first place?
Jason, unfortunately, I can't. I think there were situations and events in his life that led him to be charged criminally, and as a result of those charges, he was deemed to be incarcerated at the Remand Centre. And that goes for both him and Mr. Decoux, so I can't really get into it any more than that.
So just so that we can say, was there just not enough evidence at the time he was released to be able to arrest him for this?
Yes, both of these gentlemen were suspects from the very beginning. And again, unfortunately, it just takes our investigations some time, a little more time to get our information correct and exact before we proceed with a serious criminal charge.
Any indication that he might have left town, or perhaps, if not, where the public may have an opportunity to see him or spot him?
At this point, no, we're not sure where he is or where he could be.
Can you give us an idea, you can't go into the charges, just what brought these three together in a common holding cell? Were they being triple bunked, or was it a case of they were in a transitional area being moved back or forth?
I think the issues revolving around what happened inside the Institute and questions you ask about multiple prisoners in one location. I think the Solicitor General's office is probably better placed to answer some of those questions than maybe I am.
What sort of shape was the victim in at this point?
The victim has been released from hospital. He did return, or he did leave the country and is no longer in Canada at this time. We do believe that he has suffered lifelong injuries and will have these injuries to deal with for the rest of his life.
Is that brain injuries?
Yes.
Have you been able to notify him or his sister?
Not at this time. It's one of the things we're working on doing.
How long was Mang in the Remand Centre for? When was he released?
And again, the circumstances around what led him to be in custody at that time, I can't speak to that. Obviously, he's been released since the time of this incident and today.